All right, everybody, here we are. I am so excited to welcome everyone to this live webinar. And I hope that we are now successfully connected. Everybody really crushed this Zoom call. That's why we are streaming this live on Facebook at the very same time. So whoever cannot log in right now, and in fact, Wendy just couldn't log on because you guys were all blocking this room like crazy. Please tell everyone to go on my wall. It's been streamed on Facebook, and of course we'll send the recording to everyone. But now it's my absolute pleasure to introduce the one and only founder and CEO of Jeunesse Global, Woman Entrepreneur of the Year, Stevie Awards, multiple winner. I mean, I have never in my life seen a powerful woman such as Wendy. Now, I'll be very careful here because my wife's Italian and you know her, and she's very powerful as well. And of course, she loves Wendy just as much as I do. And she started this beautiful company. And Wendy, I am so proud and grateful to have you on the call today. I hope you can hear me and see me. And how's everything, Wendy?
I can. Thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here and so excited to talk to this group of people because you're amazing. You are the best numbers you've done, I think, ever were last month when everybody else was way underperforming. You were outstanding. You performed way beyond expectation. So I'm very grateful for all of you, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you
very much, Wendy. And honestly, we have people logging in from all countries all over Europe and the Middle East right now. And for many of them, it's the very first time to have a phone call with you, basically, because that seems and feels like a phone call. This is so incredible. So I really want to ask you just a couple of questions so that everybody has a chance to get to know you, like who's Wendy Lewis and, you know, how does this company get started? And I have to say that when I met you the very first time, we had dinner at Burj Khalifa in Dubai. I'm sure you remember that. And
we had dinner, I remember, yes.
At the Atmosphere in Burj Khalifa, yes. And I remember very much, like Stefania and I, for us, it was a big deal. We came over to Jeunesse, and it was something like we have to get to know, you know, Wendy and Randy, obviously, and Scott. And for us, this was one of the most inspiring meetings of our life. And that's mostly because of the vision you have for the company and network marketing, but also your heart. But let's start at the beginning.
Thank you.
Why don't you share with everyone what is, like, how did it all happen? Like, how did such an amazing company start?
Wow. I'll try to make it brief.
No problem. Everybody will stay on as long as you want.
Okay. Randy had problems with his knee. That's how it started. And we were looking for, he kept saying, I want to keep my original equipment. Wait, hang on a minute. I'm trying to find a way to hold this phone. Okay. Oops. No, I really messed it up. 1 second. Okay. He said, I want to keep my original equipment. So we were trying to find a way that he could not have the surgery and get a knee transplant. So we ended up finding out, it was in March of 2009, we found out that in the United States, there was a bill passed or something that allowed stem cell research in the United States. And we found that there was a doctor in Beverly Hills, California, who had worked in stem cells for a number of years, and he was going to be able to take adipose tissue, which is fat, and a small amount of fat, spin it down, get the stem cells and inject the stem cells in the knee. And that's what we did. We went out to California. Randy had the procedure done, and it worked for about 5 or 6 years before he ended up eventually having to have the knee replacement. But for a long time, it worked very, very well. And that's how we learned a lot about stem cells. When I was in Dr. Newman's office, I saw, while they were doing Randy's procedure, I saw a cabinet that had different things that they sell. And one of them was a serum. And I asked the ladies in the office, what is the serum for? And they explained to me that he uses it on all of his surgery patients and also on anyone that wants to get rid of fine lines and wrinkles. So I thought, wow, my age, it's time to try this. So I took it home and I tried it and I was amazed. So I went back to Randy and I said, this is an amazing product. And this would be a great product for a multi-level marketing company, because the more I use it, the more I want to use. Where I was just putting it on my eyes and I was putting it on my whole face, on my neck, on my arms. I thought this is an amazing product. And the most important thing is that people want to keep buying it. So we went back out to California and we talked to Dr. Newman. And Randy said, how many of these do you sell in a month? And Dr. Newman said, about 40 to my patients. And Randy said, how would you like to sell 40,000? Well, Dr. Newman laughed. He thought that was very funny. And he said, I'd love to, but how do I do that? And Randy said, give us your formula and we'll show you how.
And you
And
actually
that's
did
how
it.
Jeunesse got
And you
started.
did it, and you did it impressively. And the company went on to be the fastest to $1 billion ever in history in network marketing. Now,
That's
I
right.
can only imagine how that feels, like seeing it
That
from.
feels really good, but we had a lot. You have to remember, before this, before we went out to California to handle the knee thing, we had been working in this industry and doing everything like soup to nuts for companies that were getting started. We
Mhm.
were, one thing I did a lot of is fix people's compensation plans that were broken. And we also did their customer service. We put money in the bank for them when people paid, because in the beginning, when we first started doing this, people weren't doing it online. So we
Mm.
were doing it through paper. And then we moved over to online and we started writing compensation plans and everything. So we learned a lot. And I felt like if we started our own company, we knew a lot and we could make things work better than people that were just learning.
Yeah, and that turned out to be true, and it turned out to be a company that is providing a real future for people, a real solid foundation to build a future on. And that's something I wanted to talk with you as well about in this time right now. I mean, this is a crazy time. It's an unprecedented time. We have never experienced anything like that. I believe if a couple of months ago we would have said, "Hey, we're all gonna be stuck at home. Nobody's gonna leave. Nobody's gonna move," we would have called these people crazy. And here it is. And for me,
Right.
this is a sign on how fast things can change these days. And I, what we find also as a team, also in the last months, which is the reason for the growth, is that in these times we have the perfect vehicle to reach out to other people and give them something that they can continue to build even in uncertain times. So can you speak just a little bit, because one concern does come up occasionally, that people say, okay, but how's Jeunesse prepared to work, let's say, decentral? How about logistics? And obviously we're talking specifically about Europe and some parts of Middle East. But how do you see, or even production? Like, what do you see with Jeunesse for the, like? Is there any specific precautions that you guys are taking right now to ensure the business? Like, give us some background on how you guys are dealing with the situation.
Well, we're staying home for one thing.
That's
We're all
perfect.
staying home because we're locked down in Florida now. They just did that, but nobody's going anywhere. But I believe that is the perfect time to build the business,
Yes.
because so many people are out of work now and not getting any money. So this is a great time to talk to them, and if they're home, they can make calls, they can get all of this done to build an impressive business and build. I mean, what better way would there be to start a business than right now from home? So I think it's great. I mean, it's always better if you can all get together and have meetings, but you can do Zoom calls like
Yes.
this. So I think it's a great way, and you realized it and started it right away. What are we doing as a company? We are making sure that we have enough product, because our manufacturers are allowed to continue to manufacture.
Yes.
We're allowed to continue to ship. Those are some of the things that are excluded from the stay home part. So our shipping is still going on and we're still manufacturing. And now we have a new product that I love. I love the new hand sanitizer, the
Yes,
Aloe
absolutely.
Cleanse. It's a great product because most hand sanitizers are all alcohol and they dry your hands out so much. This has aloe in it, which is the moisture that keeps your hands soft and nice. And I think if you haven't tried it, you should. It's a very amazing product.
And
I
we have
really like it.
a lot of pre-orders entered in the system. So in the moment it's going to hit, the market, everybody will be using it and of course be very excited. Now, what I loved about the reaction from Jeunesse when these news came out, and this is something that really speaks a lot about how you guys operate. And we watched it very closely. In the moment, the world started to go a little bit more into depression and a little bit like, oh my God, worries about the future and all of that. In the very same moment, Jeunesse, it felt like connected more, got closer together, pushed the pedal to the metal, as you say, right? I mean, immediately we had this like amazing exec connect from Scott Lewis at the beginning of the month. Now we have you
Right.
reaching out to us personally. So we really feel that you guys are very aligned with us in being very hungry exactly in these times to offer opportunity, and I'm very proud on that. And then you took the decision, that's what I want you to talk about. You took the decision to allow founders packs globally. Now, can you tell a little bit from your perspective? I mean, you're the original founder, right? And you
Right.
guys probably
Well,
had,
one of,
yeah,
one of a couple.
so there's three founders, yeah. So, but
Yeah.
from one of the original founders, okay, what was your thoughts when you put the compensation plan together and you were thinking about implementing the founder program? What was your idea, and why should people buy the founder pack, and what's the benefit from you? I've explained it a million times, but I really want to know from your perspective, how do you look at that opportunity being the founder with Jeunesse?
Well, I think that's a good question, but I'm going to back up just a little bit and tell you we had a company that we, right before this, that we merged into Jeunesse
Mm-hmm.
that had this similar compensation plan. But there were a couple things that I felt we could improve upon. And one of the things was to have a founder's, not a founder's package, but a founder's bonus so
Mm-hmm.
that quarterly you could earn more money by being a founder. And I thought that that was one of the things that we needed to add. And we also added a diamond bonus for the diamonds. But in the founders, the reason I thought that was it was good for the company, because one of the things you have to do is you have to have 5 people. If you're out of the US, you have to have 5 people with auto ships or smart deliveries that are every month for the quarter, and that helps the company have sustainable growth. So I thought it was good for the company. It was good for the distributors as a way to make an extra bonus. So it worked for everybody.
Absolutely. And, I always think like the leading question when it comes to the founders pool is like, do you have a long-term vision with the company? And if the question is yes, then it's out of the question whether you should be a founder. So I really want to encourage everyone on this Zoom call right now that didn't take the decision yet to be a founder with Jeunesse, take this opportunity because we have it right now in the month of April in order to really, get set up in a perfect way to build this business. And Wendy,
I
one
think
more
it's
question.
great.
One more question that really many of also my team told me, please ask this question to Wendy, where do you see Jeunesse in the next years? Like, what do you see as a vision for network marketing, but especially obviously for Jeunesse, the vision, for this company?
Well, I see Jeunesse, right? We have to get through this hard time right now. But we should be using it to our advantage.
For sure.
You should look at it. Randy said this many times. Look at Amazon. My goodness, at this time, people are getting so much. I am too. We're ordering so many things from Amazon. Every day we have packages delivered.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, that now that you're having to work from home and stay home, you can order more products, use the products, and enjoy them. So I think you'll be able to grow your business better. But once we get through this hard time, I think we will be set to really expand the business and grow to 2 billion and then 10 billion. I mean, that's what we're looking. We want to be number one.
I
And I
love
know
that.
it's going to take a couple years, but we're going to keep working toward it. And I think we can do it. I think we have the most companies, and you can look at all the ones, and I'm not going to mention names, but we have better leaders than almost any company out there. So our leaders have the ability to bring us to the next level and hopefully eventually to be number one.
And obviously, a lot of the distributors also on the call, they have qualified and they've been taking part in many of the trips and many of the events that you guys do. Do you have just, I mean, I don't know if you have all the numbers at the top of your head, but like, give us an idea, like how many events is Jeunesse doing per year, like in normal times, obviously, and how many trips and how many people, do you know, like how many people you took on holidays with this company? Like all this must be super impressive.
I can't tell you the exact numbers, but I can tell you we have 5 regions. Every region does its own event. Also, I think besides Brazil doing an event for that region, I think Latin America does its own event. So that's 6, and then we have 5 expos, which we do events so that you can go to the expos. So that's like 11, I guess 11 or 12 events or trips a year. Plus we do an emerald trip every January to Maui, and we also do a different diamond trip every year. So probably I bet it's around 15 trips a year.
And then when you do those trips, sometimes it's like newspaper headlines. I remember when you had the Asia trip to Switzerland. Like obviously, there's a lot of
That
German.
was that was a problem.
Unbelievable.
We didn't need that.
My
That
parents
caused us
actually
a lot
sent
of
me the
issues.
picture. My parents sent me the
But we
picture from
took
newspaper.
12,000 people on that trip. That's why it was an issue. They never
How many
had so
was it?
many people ever on a
Wow.
trip to Switzerland.
So how many was it? How many people?
Over 12,000
Over 12,000 people traveling to Switzerland, guys.
and
That
one
is
trip.
the magnitude of Jeunesse. And Wendy,
Mhm.
honestly, thank you so much for joining us on the call. Thank you for recognizing that last month was a really, really good month. And I can promise you that all the team is behind you. All the team is behind Jeunesse. We love Jeunesse. And at this point, I would like everyone in the chats, everyone on Facebook, just drop a comment, write something that, you know, Wendy feels the love because she's one of the most caring, one of the most smart, but at the same time, hungry entrepreneurs that I've met in my life. Wendy, you're a true inspiration, and we're so grateful for everything you've done for our lives and our distributors.
Thank you.
So thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
And we love you. And I love what you're doing. And you've done amazing. And I want you to continue doing it. Keep working hard and keep growing your business. And we'll all be happy. I love you all very much. Thank you for asking me to be on the call.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Stay safe and see you all back soon on the road.
Thank you. I can't wait.
Same.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. This was a quick interview with Wendy Lewis, CEO of Jeunesse Global. And honestly, isn't she just such an amazing person? Like, how can you not feel safe in a company like that? How can you not just feel the love and feel at the same time how she believes in this company and how at the same time she's so down to earth, right? I mean, she's very humble, but she's an owner of $1 billion company. And she said there's multiple owners, right? There's 3 and one of them is her husband, right? So at the end of the day, they're the owners of Jeunesse, and yet she's so down to earth. She's so amazing and inspiring and really, really heartfelt. And she gave a little sneak peek. I don't know if you heard it, but she was talking about the hand sanitizer and she mentioned the name of a product called Aloe Moon. Have you heard Aloe Moon? She said it real quickly. So watch for more news coming up this month. And here's what I want to do. I want us all this month to work very, very, very hard. You know, she said that Obviously, even for Jeunesse, of course, it's a tough time. But at the same time, she said it's a perfect time to build. And it's an amazing opportunity for all of us to use this moment and go big. And I really want us, our team, I want us to shine, to be the backbone of this company. I want us to build strong. I want us to do more volume than we've ever done to show how grateful we are for this opportunity, for this company. And she also said, what's the vision? 2 billion. And then eventually become 10 billion. And she said, it's going to take a few years, but we will be number one. Did you hear that? And I love just with the amount of like I don't even know how to, like she says it just like that, right? She's like, oh, we'll be number one eventually. It's gonna take us a couple of years, but we're gonna do it. And I just love that. And I hope you guys do too. Appreciate the opportunity to share this moment with you guys. And I wish you a very, very, very amazing night, a very, very amazing month in Jeunesse, in this historic month right now. We call it the Run for Alive this month, in month of April 2020. So let's all write history together. And thank you so much. Share this video, talk to your friends, have them meet this amazing woman, and we'll all see you back shortly on our future webinars. Take care and bye-bye.